everybody. How you guys doing? I'm Brandon Robinson. I'm National Director at Calvary Realty, also one of the founders and the president of the National Self-Storage Investment Club. And we're so happy that you guys are here to join us. Today we have a special guest. We have Devin and also Ethan from Zion Call Center Management here to speak to the group. And just to give you guys a little bit of backstory about Ethan. So Zion Call Center Management, they're based in St. George, Utah. And Ethan, let me make sure I'm saying this right, Erkenbrack serves as the director of onboarding and systems for Zion Call Center Management. With 8 years of specialized experience in the self-storage industry, he has dedicated his career to optimizing call center management and support systems. In his free time, Ethan enjoys playing golf and spending time with his family. So, you guys, without further ado, help me welcome Ethan Erkenbrack. Oh my God, let me say it right. Ethan, hold on. Ethan Erkenbrack.
Got it.
And also Devin Meinhardt of Zion Call Center Management. Help me make some noise for him. Help me welcome him. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah. Hey, so
Thanks,
I got
guys.
a question for you, Ethan. Because I just got into golf recently. I just got into golf recently, and I'm curious. I'm always curious to know what people are shooting. So, what do you typically shoot when you're
Oh
playing
man.
golf?
Oh man. Here's the thing. I could give you the honest answer or I could give you a lying answer.
The honest answer. So, look, the honest answer without multiple breakfast balls and a mulligan on every.
Oh man. I mean, I am not very good, honestly. In fact, usually when I go out, we really just go out to have a good time. Like I don't usually keep score super often. I'm more like a bogey golfer myself. I'm not
That's
very
really
good,
good,
but
actually.
I like going out and I like playing, so it's always a good time.
And St. George has some hard courses too. I used to live in
Yeah.
St. George, and so know it well. I used to play a 9-hole where it was like 580 yards, and you had to go straight past the cliff and then back over.
Oh yeah. Yep,
What?
yep. I know exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Wow. That's great. So and I gotta shut up or else I'm gonna talk too much about golf and not get down to business. Um, so my best was I shot at 89 one time
Okay, try to have fun, I guess.
in Ukaipa. That was the only time I shot below 90. Other than that, I'm usually like in the mid to high 90s.
Mm,
So
yeah.
I'm trying to get to the point where I can consistently break 90, but hasn't happened yet.
that's about where I am, but I only play about 4 or 5 times a year, maybe 2 to 3 times a year.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a lot of, once I started playing, man, I got a lot more respect for those guys as athletes because it takes a lot of
Oh yeah.
coordination. Like it's crazy because sometimes like I'll go out, right? And I'll hit, something to be working one time. And then the next day I go out, the same thing that I'm doing, same swing, same pattern, just has me shanking and slicing. And it's crazy.
I have two sets of clubs, one for Florida and another set in California. So both the clubs play way different. One's Callaway, the other ones are Pings. And I'll get one down on this course and I go to the other side of the state and completely different. It's horrible.
Oh,
That's
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 funny.
not that's not Marty. Do you play at all, Marty? You're on mute. If you hear us, you're on mute.
No, I'm terrible, so I
There.
give up.
He's like, "Give up."
I just give up. I just drive the golf cart and drink the beer.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, Marty, how are things going? I saw you got your place in escrow, right? Out in the
Yeah, I just closed a sale Monday for the facility in Mississippi, and
Yep.
I'm closing an acquisition on, well, next Tuesday
Okay.
for the replacement in Texas.
Good.
1031 timing worked out perfectly. I didn't try to time it that well, only a week apart, but I
Nice.
tried to do that. It would never have worked out, but it's just kind of fell on the calendar that way.
That's good. And you use Matt Porter for the cell in Van
Uh,
Clave, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we just closed one of our other members, Everett Jenkins. I represented him in the purchase of one that Matt had in Hattiesburg, Mississippi,
Uh,
called
yeah.
Mid City Storage.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was looking, Matt was trying to, uh, well, I mean, he had showed me a deal in Hattiesburg that if I, if I hadn't found anything else, I might have looked closer at that, but I was really trying to get closer to home. So,
Yeah,
uh,
because you're in Texas, right?
yeah, in Houston.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Nice. And then two of our other members, they're on the call here, Jasmine and Jose. They we're in escrow and getting past contingencies on a deal in Montgomery, Alabama. So they
Yeah,
should have that closed sometime mid-April.
yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we have a really good group. Like our group is not they're not just a bunch of talkers. Like the folks that actually are part of the club, even the ones that can't be here, they're they're actually out doing deals and doing acquisitions. So it's exciting.
Yeah, good.
It's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get into so guys, like Devin, I asked Devin and Ethan to join us and just present and speak about their call center, just to give you guys a little bit of why I asked them to come. So with our portfolio drop zone storage centers, we use them at all of our facilities except for one. There's one where we have a on-site manager, but all the other ones we use them. It's great. They help to free up our time because they interact with the customers on our behalf, and it also helps to acquire new customers because sometimes when we can't answer the phone, they're there to answer as well. So Devin, Ethan, again, thanks for joining us, and I like for you guys to just give us a little bit of background about the company and about what it is that you guys what it is that you guys do, and then we'll you can let us know how it is that you can be of service, and then we'll get into some Q&A.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Um, if it's all right, I'll probably just start at the beginning, kind of
Yeah,
where we came from and how we got into the industry.
no problem. And if you guys need to share your screen, let me know. I can give you screen sharing rights if you need to share anything.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, sounds good.
So we used to be one in the same company as an FMS, so facility management software. I'm sure you guys are well acquainted with those, but we used to be one in the same company as Easy Storage Solutions. We were all based out of St. George, Utah. And I started there in 2016, just as an intern on the marketing team. And so Easy Storage, they're primarily, like I said, a FMS, facility management software, property management system. And they help keep track of just managing your tenants, setting up auto pay, rentals, who's delinquent. They'll send out automatic invoices, reminders, late fees. Great system there. And they were primarily catered towards the small to mid-size operator. So as the software grew and developed, we started to develop ancillary services as well. And one of those was the call answering service, where we had an in-house call center that would field all of the customers' phone calls, and they would assist with rentals, payments, gate codes, customer service. So we continued on operations, and we actually grew quite large. And then Storable acquired Easy Storage in 2019. So for a couple of years, we worked under the Storable umbrella, and then I think it was late 2022, early 2023, we came to an agreement with Storable to buy the call center portion back. So that's where Zion Call Management came to be. And up until that point, we had solely serviced Easy Storage customers, anybody that was on the Easy Storage platform. And right away, we wanted to make the call center a more universal product to any property management system or facility management software. So we went out and started developing relationships with everybody. And the way that we operate is a little bit unique in the contact call center world. A lot of people will log in through the management software and then they have access to the software as a whole. We have developed a proprietary operating software for our agents that they work out of that limits their access solely to customer facing operations. So it's really crucial for us and how we operate to develop an integration with each one of these management systems. And now we're integrated with I think 5 or 6 of the biggest ones. And makes it a pretty universal product. So I'll pause there. Ethan, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that all sounds great. Yeah, I mean, and a little bit of background on myself too. So I started back in the Easy Storage Solution days as well, back in 2018, and I actually started when I got hired. I needed a job through college, so I actually got hired as a call center agent back in the day, and have kind of just worked my way through. So I've been around it all, and have seen a lot of different things, but. Yeah, I mean it's really cool the proprietary software that we've built. It allows us the ability to access several different systems, but have it all look universal for our call agents. So it helps overall with processes and things. But no, Devin, I think you covered it perfectly.
Awesome.
Cool.
Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
since I was like, no, cool. I appreciate that. Appreciate you guys saying that. Can you just, I guess now you guys could just talk about how you service the self storage customers, things that you guys do, what sets you apart from other call centers, and some of the ways that you guys integrate with various softwares.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd be happy to kind of touch on the kind of more of like the system and integration side of things. So we as far as how we connect in, so primarily, like Devin mentioned, it's through that system that we call our middleware. And it's all just done through an API connection with the management system. So it allows us to pull in details like like the customer's information. We can see customer accounts and collect payments and process rentals and do the same types of things that uh, a property manager would be able to do. But we differ a little bit from like you guys have probably heard of like a third party management system or setup. We differ a little bit from that standpoint because we're not quite as like on site or like physically on site. It's more remote type management that we handle. So we're a little bit different from that side, which keeps us really competitive, like from a pricing standpoint and different things like that, as far as compared to hiring like a specific person to manage everything, or a group that manages all different systems or platforms that you have. um so yeah, kind of from like the integration side, that's kind of a piece of how we work.
Yeah. Eh, Can you talk about just the onboarding process? So if I'm I have a facility and I don't want to get calls myself because, some of us that own facilities, we have other jobs, other businesses. We can't take
Yeah.
calls from new tenants that want to rent and answer questions from current tenants that want to know about their bill and how to pay their bill. So how can you walk us through how how the onboarding process would work out if I just came to you and I had a facility?
Yeah, no, great question. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Like we don't need a lot of information. We primarily ask our operators to give us two things. We do ask for access to your management software so that we can log in and make the connections that we need to in the back end for our proprietary middleware to work. But then we also do ask our operators to fill out a questionnaire form, and it's just a short like Google form that basically covers just some questions about the property, like if there's a gate, who should we contact if there's an on-site issue, and kind of just covers the bases there so that our team knows how to handle the calls and what direction to take. And then we actually, during the build out process, so we connect everything with the management system, and then we convert that questionnaire into like a script that our guys use to be able to navigate and take the calls. So those are the two primary pieces that we need. And then we're able to go in and assist customers as they call. We have the connection made with the management system, so we can go in, we can pull up a customer's account and do all of that process. Yeah, I like that Brandon sharing his screen here because yeah, this is a perfect example. So they have us set up as a user, and we have that connection within the Storable Easy platform where we can go in, connect, and we can pull up the grid view and customers' accounts and all of those different things, and see that information. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's nice from a standpoint that we don't have to train each of our individual agents in 5, 6, 7+ different management systems. It all looks the same and it navigates the same as well. So
Yeah, this is cool too because we give you guys manager access to our software, and then as people are calling, you can come in and you can see account information and what they owe and give them their balance.
yeah,
So I mean that's something that we really like, and also another thing we like too, which I'm sure you guys might get into it, is that as we have some people that are delinquent or in auction status, you guys have now come out with a system where you're making collection calls as well.
yeah, which has been really great. We've seen a lot of different success and things with that. So we do have an automated past due calling, and it also does text messaging as well. A calling and text messaging system that will send notifications to delinquent customers a few times a month, just on specific dates. So yeah, it's really great, and it will automatically leave a note on the customer's account if they're when the call was placed. And it basically just prompts them and notifies, hey, you've got an account balance, and then it can give them the option right then and there to get connected with our automated payment system to process a payment. So it's been a really cool and seamless integration that we've made, and it's been something that's been really helpful for operators. So
Yeah, and then as far as like the number two, I forgot exactly how it works because I'm not on the tech side, but I do know you guys, when we came to you, you guys generated the number for us, and then when customers or when a potential calls this number, it gets routed directly to your call center.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep. So we have a couple different options. So we can acquire a facility phone number and like be the provider of the phone number, similar to how like if you got a business and you needed to get a phone number, you could use like Verizon or AT&T. So we can act as the carrier of the number, or we do have some customers that they get their own phone number and then they just forward the calls to us. So we have different options there to kind of cater to the needs of what our clients need. But no, it's a yeah, it's definitely a cool system. So the call, when it drops into our system, it gives them the option that they can make an automated payment or they can speak with someone. And depending obviously which route, they'll either get connected with our team or they'll get connected with our automated pay by phone system to make a payment. So yeah, it's a pretty cool system, and it's really efficient, and it yeah, it's worked really well for a lot of different operators.
What does it typically run for like 100 unit, storage facility for monthly cost? And another question is, can you, I'm just putting insurance in my units. They've never had insurance. Is that a call that you guys can automatically make to see if tenants are interested in insurance? Or is that something I still need to do myself?
That's a good
Yeah,
question.
that's yeah, good questions, Devin. I'll let you go here.
So I'm glad you brought up the phone number variations and what we can do there, because really the entire process, like it can be done a lot of different ways, and even how customers utilize our service. Um, there's a lot of different capacities that we can come in and help, and we can be really custom to the needs of particular properties and operators. So your question was, is like 100 units, typically smaller single location properties, we try to keep it a flat rate price. That's around $3 per unit. So if it was 50 units, it's going to be $150 a month. If it was 100 units, it'd be $300 a month.
Okay.
That pricing scale kind of changes as customers acquire multiple properties and start to develop portfolios. We move to more of like a call tier pricing, where up to 100 calls is like $450 a month, and then it
Oh.
scales every 50 calls would just scale $225 after that. So that way, the pricing scales as the call volume and number of locations grow. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's in favor of the operator. That way, if somebody has 1,000 units, they're not paying the price of a manager for us to remote manage type of thing.
And I'll preface and say I can jump in there too. That's actually how we have the drop zone site set up is with that type of structure, because there are multiple locations. We've transitioned more to like a tiered pricing structure depending on the number of calls instead of like a per unit structure. So kind of similar, once we get operators that have multiple locations or they start adding more locations, then we'll usually look at making an adjustment like that for sure.
And you guys also do hybrid models too, because I know some of my clients where some of the ones that manage themselves, like they'll have it to where they answer the phones come to them during a certain time of day, but after hours, like let's say between the hours of 4 and 10 o'clock at night, the calls will go to you guys. So I know you guys also do some hybrid type of stuff as well.
Yeah, or even if like the on-site manager misses the call, we can, if they miss it, like they're out working on a unit or checking out a unit or helping a customer, it can roll over to us as like a secondary line of defense. So, and we have a lot of customers that we call it overflow answering.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of customers that utilize that because it's, obviously with the manager, like sometimes they can't be at the facility all the time. Maybe they're taking time off or they're not working on the weekends, and that's where we can step in or during those after hour times, we can step in and be a good solution there for them.
And even like we've had customers like they want to prioritize the sales, but they want all other calls to come to us. So we can set up a phone tree to where all new business would go to the owner. Like if they're like a Steve Jobs master salesman and they can close a new deal, like we'll send all calls to, like sales calls will go to that guy, and then we take all the current customers that usually are just complaining about weeds and jam doors, things like that. So we can be really custom to how we set up the calls, and like I said, we can make it work in a lot of different scenarios.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, I had a question for you guys, because something that we do at our sites is we have, with our multiple sites, we use the same number, the 601-401-0004. That's on like 10 of our sites. And I know when customers call, they have to be specific in terms of which location they want to rent or which location they're calling about, because sometimes we'll have a customer at one location call the number, and if they don't give which location they're referring to, there could be some confusion. Do you guys recommend for a portfolio having one singular number, or is it best to have one number for each site just so that way it's clear which site that customer is calling about?
Yeah, so it does really heavily depend a little bit on like the operator. Like usually we recommend it if it's kind of a situation like drop zone where they're all branded as the same name. Then typically we'll recommend that they share a phone number. If it's split out and they're different names or completely different entities, then that's usually when we'll start saying it's sometimes a little bit better to have a specific number. Just with the way that our systems are set up, it's easier for our guys to be able to answer the phone and say, hey, thanks for calling Drop Zone Storage. And instead of saying, hey, thanks for calling ABC Storage and Store Smart and, on all these different names. It just makes it a little bit easier that
Right.
way. So it kind of depends a little bit on the scenario. And there's obviously, good and bad with both. Like from a site specific standpoint, if there's different numbers, sometimes it can get easier to track how many calls are going to a specific location and different things like that. So there's positives on both sides, but we have operators that do have one phone number, multiple locations. We have some that split it out every single one. So it's kind of a personal preference, and it doesn't change much internally with us because our guys, whenever a call rings to them, it pops up with a friendly name, and that's how they know which facility it's for and how to answer the call. So it doesn't change too much from our side.
Okay. I I was gonna. You mentioned something too. You guys. Another thing I like about Zion is that you guys send us monthly reports in terms of the call value. So with each of our sites, you'll send a report such as, hey, we had X amount of calls, and these calls were for potential new rentals. These were for collections, etc. So I'm not sure. Is that something that you guys that's unique to you, or
Yeah. So I guess so do you guys get an automated report, or are you utilizing like our client portal that we have
we
to like
don't?
go in and
I know I don't use the client portal. I just know you guys just email me a Excel spreadsheet that would just show how many calls we get. And I think one I forgot who it is. One of the account managers, he sets up a like a quarterly or annual meeting to go over our account and our call volume.
Yeah, so good question. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm not super familiar with that. Do you know by chance who that person is, like their name, who's chatting with
Oh
you
man, I don't know.
on that?
I'd have to go through my email.
Okay.
I forgot which one it is.
No, that's okay because
Yeah.
we don't, and I guess I can answer. So we don't normally send like an automated type report with our system just because we've built a client portal that we have that our customers can log into and view different call metrics and things. Um, and that's been a recent development that we've had that we've set up. So it gives the option for them to be able to log in and view some of that information. But I'm curious, Brandon, if you know the person, then yeah, I can look on our side.
I'll
Off the
find
top
them.
of my head, I just don't know for sure. So maybe
I'll find
someone is sending a report.
I'll find
And
them.
you know,
I know you guys had the client portal. Like when did you guys launch that where we can go into the portal and
Yeah, it's actually so it hasn't been around too long, Devin. I don't know. What do you think? It's probably been, I don't know. What do you think? I can't remember exactly when it was.
probably just make up a number, but it seems like it's been like a year, maybe. There's kind of a backstory to that because we used to we our phone system is TalkDesk, and we used to have people log directly into TalkDesk,
right.
and they would be able to access a bunch of different call metrics there. But TalkDesk did an update to their system where if one customer logged in, they'd be able to toggle between all of our clients. So we had to nix that, and that was kind of the main catalyst
Yeah.
into developing the customer portal where you could just log in. So what we're effectively doing is just pulling those call metrics from TalkDesk, and they populate in the customer portal. And so I tell a lot of customers when they're signing up, like that call, the customer portal, like we want to keep developing it so it includes like a lot of different types of metrics. I think the ones that are in there right now are pretty helpful, but in certain cases, like if a customer wants, I don't know, just a custom report, I always tell them to reach out to our customer success team and let them know what they're looking for, and then a lot of times they'll send them those reports directly from TalkDesk. So that might be what's going on in your case,
Okay.
Brandon. Um, but yeah, like we have access to all sorts of different metrics. For the same reason, like we even have call recordings. We don't have like a system where you can access those just so that we remain in PCI compliance. But yeah, like we've had, as you guys can imagine, we've had some pretty crazy stories, anywhere from like people running into buildings to even an active shooter situation where we've had to access those phone calls and then coordinate with the owners and even local police departments. So it's a system that can be really beneficial and valuable that way because everything's recorded, even the interactions that are super mundane, like if we take somebody's payment or issue them a gate code or get a delinquent customer paid current, like there's notes kept on each of the customers' profiles of what those interactions were and have been.
Yeah. So he had an active shooter at a storage.
Yeah, there was a guy that had a bunch. This was several years ago, and I was actually in Las Vegas at a conference, and one of my partners who helps oversee operations, I could tell he was stressed and about pulling out his hair. And so, yeah, he said we had this situation where a customer who was very delinquent kept getting late fees tacked on, and I guess it just sent him over the edge. And he called into the call center and said that he was going to go down to the facility with a gun and start shooting the place up. And um, so yeah, the poor girl that took that call reached out to us and was just like, "What do I do?" And we're just like, "Well, we need to contact the police department first and then notify the owner." And so it was one of those situations where I feel like everybody handled it really well, all things considering, but then it was a good training opportunity. So it's like, hey, if anything like this where there's like bodily harm or injury present, like this is kind of the steps in the scenario that we need to do in order to make sure everybody, hopefully the situation works itself out okay.
Yeah. No, I got you. Got you. Not, I was just here on your website, and look, if you guys have any questions, feel free to jump in.
Yeah.
So I saw on here. So what is this? Digital marketing, tenant protection, and property insurance. What's that about?
So this is really cool, and man, just cut me off if I start speaking too long.
No, go ahead.
My position within Easy Storage, back when we were the same company as them, is I oversaw the ancillary services sales. So anything that would help the operator, and it was all a la carte optional services that people could roll in based on their needs. We've just developed that same in-house offering. So digital marketing, it just entails everything from anything that would assist in widening the net as far as how people find you online. And if anybody's well versed in that, like we primarily target Google, and there's a plethora of ways that Google helps advertise and increase exposure. So the three main categories there that we assist with are Google Ad Management, search engine optimization, and then reputation management, which the three categories, like there's ads that I always tell operators, like there's three main exposure parts on the search result page. When somebody searches for storage online, they can find you in the ads, they can find you in the map section, the local business listings, or they can find your organic website. So those three services, again, they're all optional. So if somebody can sign up for the reputation management service and the search engine optimization and not do the ads, they can just do the ads and not do the other two. But whatever, it kind of comes down to strategy. A lot of times newer facilities, they have no exposure online. So it's kind of beneficial to run the ads while the organic presence is being built up through the search engine optimization. Facilities that have been more established for a long time, a lot of times they don't need the ads. They need to build up the organic presence so they don't have to focus so much on paying into the ads. So if anybody's interested in just doing a consultation as far as like where you guys are currently at and how to increase how people find you online, I'd love to do a deep dive there.
How does that compare to the storable one? Because they offered one that I've been in for a few months and I haven't seen much of a return at all from it. How does that compare to kind of what you guys do versus what they do?
It would actually be pretty well. I say similar processes, but I obviously I would tell you that ours is a little bit better, and part of that's because when they bought us, they kind of adopted the same marketing practices. And then kind of similar fashion to how we broke away from Storable and bought the call center back. The guy who was the director of marketing with Storable, he left and started his own marketing agency, and then we actually ended up partnering up with him. So the processes there are really similar. And I would just say like the account management and the customer experience as far as just walking along and kind of troubleshooting the problems as they come up is going to be the difference there. Like you're going to be working directly with Josh, and he's going to be able to explain like, hey, this is like what we're seeing right here. This is good trends and good indicators that we're increasing our exposure. And he'll walk like similar to the call answering reports. He'll walk through the monthly marketing reports with you and just kind of break down like what he's seeing and what direction to take and what corrections need to be made on his end in order to get the results that you're looking for. I will add this too, that we have a good relationship with Storable. We really like our friends over there. So if somebody wants to stay with Storable, like we're 100% in favor of that. Like I think they've made some great improvements to their marketing service, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be heading the right direction. I would just say like they're kind of like a bigger service, right? They have a lot of clients, and each one of their account managers, they oversee a lot of different customer bases. Smaller companies, they can just be more nimble. They can have a lot more focus and give a lot more attention to customers, and that's where we're at. Is we just have that.
That was my question when I signed up with them, because they did have 7 other customers in my same market.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of my thing. Well, what are you guys going to do different from me than the other customers? You know, they offer some premium services and stuff like that, but they just kind of said, go with the basic what everyone else is doing. And it just, you know, I haven't seen a return in phone calls, and it's been probably since November, and I haven't seen an increase in phone calls or anything at all.
Okay. Yeah. And it's kind of tough through the winter months. Just to their credit. And that's one thing you'll find with us too. It's really hard to talk about competition. We are not mudslingers in any way.
Oh, definitely. I totally understand that.
So,
and I'm not looking for that.
Yeah, to their credit, like it is tough going through winter because a lot of times the call volume, it's really interesting is just speaking on a macro perspective, the call volume tells off big time going through the winter months, like November through February, March, and then it really starts to pick up again in April, May. But I would tell a lot of customers in the online marketing conversation, like 6 months, you'll at least be able to see indicators that what they're doing is being successful. I don't know if they send you any type of like keyword tracking reports, and that would just be like a list of different phrases that somebody might type in to find your storage facility. And as long as like the change, like, and that change just means like you were ranking here, but now you're ranking here. As long as those indicators are pointing up, that shows that what they're doing is actually getting traction. It just might not mean that you're on the first page yet to where people are finding you in volume. But as long as you're heading that way.
And probably the defense, I don't know, because I haven't heard from them since I've signed up. So I haven't gotten any reporting back. I haven't gotten any telltale signs. So it's kind of just coming from the dark here because I haven't heard from them since I've signed up.
Yeah, and that's the feedback that we get. Different marketing agencies, I just feel like communication is key. If the customer knows what's going on, because in reality, online marketing takes time. Like it takes time to build up that exposure, especially when you're talking about search engine optimization. Google Ads, you can be a little bit more instantaneous and show up right away, but it takes time to be effective. But more so for the customer, it just takes good communication and just showing that like what is being implemented is actually working to build towards that first page ranking to where people can find you. You're not having to rely on different billboards or paid advertising expenses. And that's just to give a plug for our service. Like that's where Josh is really good. Like similar with our customer portal on the call center side, you would have access real time. You could check it 2 or 3 times a month. You could check it every day if you wanted and just see the change that's happening. The two main reports there are Google Analytics and then keyword tracking, like I was talking about. So it's going to show a list of phrases and like where you're ranking at for each one of those. And that's the keyword tracking side. And then it's going to show the Google Analytics, like because of that increase in ranking, this is what it's meant as far as traffic to your website. This is how many people have found you through organic searches. And then it breaks it down into a bunch of other small subcategories. Like this is how many pages they viewed. This is how much time they spent on each page. And good marketers, they can look at that and that tells them like what things are working and what things aren't. Like, are they spending a lot of time on the pages that actually matter? Are they finding the right pages? Is your website set up to convert well? It's just all of those little things that kind of funnel into success.
Okay, wonderful.
Man, I had no idea that you guys did all this additional stuff with the digital marketing, the reputation management, tenant protection, and insurance. Like, is that stuff you guys just started doing in the past couple months, past year?
So the digital marketing, we've been doing that probably the past year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
We're just getting a little bit better about branding and getting the message out there of like what our services entail.
Right.
The insurance options, they're a little bit newer. But yeah, I'm Brandon, I told you I could I can get long-winded here, but yeah, the tenant protection, like those are really cool services, especially for smaller operators that are looking to increase revenue and decrease liability. It's similar to insurance, but not exactly insurance. It still offers tenants the option to select different coverage options based on what they're storing. And it's a great option for operators to increase their revenue month over month.
And I'll say too, that's so the tenant protection's been around for a little bit, but we've it's been a little bit slow forming, just because, especially on, I mean, a lot of our customers that we have are from, the storable side with easy
Right.
storage, and there was for a time period there was some restrictions on third party vendors using tenant protection with the easy storage platform.
Yeah.
And so because of that, we couldn't offer it. But actually, just recently, in like the last 2 months, that's been changed, where they're allowing vendors again to have that ability. So it's kind of sparked some more things there, for us for sure. So
Oh, and you guys are doing property insurance as well. I just sent
yeah,
out I just sent an email to get a quote for some property insurance. So that's something you guys.
and that's like brand new, um, like within the last month.
Yeah, that one's
So that one's pretty new. So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
and
definitely
we'd love to quote you
expanding.
on that. Anytime that we can
I
save operators money, we'd
Yeah.
love to get you a quote and just see if we can come in more competitive.
I actually will. So it's the quote I sent, it was for Jasmine and Jose for the deal that they have in Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent the email out to get a quote for that. So I'll send you guys the information, and yeah, you can give them a quote. I'll copy them on the email also.
Yeah.
Jasmine
And
said
Jasmine thinks,
she'll be
yeah,
the guinea pig.
we'd love that for sure. So that
Yeah.
would be great.
Okay. Man, no, you guys are really turning into a one-stop shop for a lot of different things.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it's been really cool seeing the expansion and stuff. I mean, even just back from the, specific with call management, we've been really trying hard to kind of branch out and see what we can do. I mean, a lot of it's been from talking with operators about where can we really step in and help be a good solution for people. And so we've spent a lot of time. I know we've started to add different ancillary services and things. We've spent a lot of time figuring out, okay, what really is going to be helpful. Where can we provide, good service, good quality service to operators and help them in that process. So yeah, it's been really great, and we're just growing away. So
Yeah, I want my referral too. When you get people, you get anybody signing up, yeah, I would like my $300
oh yeah,
Amazon gift card, Venmo.
absolutely, yeah. If you send someone our way, let us know. We'll do that.
What made you get into the RV campground world of booking?
Sorry, what was the question?
What made you do the campground RV booking software?
So that's a really good question. We've been looking for industry. Right now, all of our services are specific to self-storage. Like that's kind of our niche. We've had people reach out to us and ask us if we wanted to do answering for their pest control companies, and it's kind of outside of our niche, and we're really tailored and geared towards self-storage. And we've been looking at other industries and verticals that would translate well with self-storage, and campgrounds really similar to that. Just as far as like how they do their leases, the type of customers we'd be talking to, the conversations. And so we this is actually pretty new as well. We've just developed the same integration that we've had with different management softwares and self-storage with management softwares in campground and RV. And so there's a little bit of differences there as far as like the type of leases. Sometimes there's nightly leases and weekly leases and also monthly. And so um it's a similar industry with some differences, but we're kind of excited about a vertical that we can explore. And self-storage is when we got in with easy storage, I'd say it was like 10 to 15 years behind the times.
Yeah.
Campgrounds like 10 to 15 years behind the times today.
Yeah, it
As far
is.
as like providers and technologies, different platforms to integrate. So
Yeah.
we just thought we could bring some value to those owners that have properties in that category. And
We'll talk about that as well. I'm building a 32 site one in California as we speak.
oh, heck yeah,
Oh yeah.
exciting.
And I'm building a storage facility for my customers 2 blocks away.
Okay.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. Do you know what, or do you have a software plan for that, or do you know what you're using?
Yeah. Oh God, I'm trying to think because I have a manager running all that now. I live in Florida.
Nice.
Storage, but oh, what is the name of the? Yeah, we have. Can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah, we have a storage thing. I used to use an iCloud based one that was really good, but now they've switched it to something else. But yeah, it's a storage software a booking software. It does it all for us. But
Nice.
yeah, I'd like to talk to you a little further about that because that could be a good integration for us as we're building this. It's currently a 10 cabin hotel resort, and that's getting added onto it.
Nice. All
That's
right.
awesome.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to you more about that.
Hey Devin,
Wonderful.
that's two referrals, Devin. Okay, I get a referral for the campground, I get a referral for the storage.
They're stacking up, Brandon.
Hey, you guys have any? We're just gonna open it up. If you guys have any questions for Devin or for Ethan. So if
Yeah.
anyone got any questions, Marty, Marvin, Jose,
Yeah, I'll go. It's Marty. So if when you have a call center, if I have calls going to you first, what would be some of the typical calls that would have to get, you know, you'd have to get connected with me as the owner on like things that the team can't necessarily take care of, um, because it's something out of the box. So what are some of the I guess what are some of the common reasons I as a facility owner would end up getting calls from you guys saying, hey, you need to take care of this or whatever.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And we kind of tailor specific things in our notes of when we reach out to certain people. Like if you have an on-site manager or if it's just you as the owner that are running the property, like we can tailor communication preferences. So I'll preface with that first, but typically what we reach out with is more of like physical on-site things. So let's say someone is having an issue and they've tried opening their unit door and it's jammed, it's not rolling up, and we've tried troubleshooting with them and it's just still having issues, then we would obviously escalate something like that. Or if someone is at the gate, they tried putting in their code, we verified that the code is the correct one that they're entering, then we would, escalate a situation. So typically it falls more into like those physical on-site type issues that we would need to reach out on. Um, a lot of times too, we outreach on different like billing questions. And obviously too, like we have some operators that are totally fine with us, waiving a late fee or crediting someone's account if we need to, and we can handle those things internally. But for a lot of, operators, we reach out and say, hey, this customer asked if they could have this late fee waived, or do this, and then we get that confirmation and we can follow back up with the customer. So a lot of those things can be kind of fine tuned and tailored for sure with different scenarios and things like that. But those are kind of the primary things that we would reach out on. Outside of that, with payment calls, people calling to rent, processing move outs, like those day to day things we can handle for sure.
You
Okay.
guys, you guys can handle. Sorry, Marty. Can you guys handle auctions also? Because that's something that we've kind of been doing. Like when somebody wins an auction, they'll call us. Is that something we can pass along to you guys as well? And because we build them through our Easy ESS system, like we have a special
Yeah.
account set up for just billing for auction winners.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I know a lot of times with auctions, like there's auction systems, like third party systems that are
Yeah.
that are used. So we can't access those systems. However, we can help in the standpoint of, let's say there was an auction that happened and an account was created for the auction winner and you put their deposit and bid amount on the account. When they call in, we for sure can help collect the payment and help the auction winner from that standpoint. It's just more kind of like the post process. So we can't necessarily facilitate it from start to finish, but we can help provide support there. That's a good question. So that's kind of one of those other things that falls into kind of more like third party management, where we differ a little bit from that standpoint, of handling like the total over scoping piece. But yeah, no, that's a great question for sure.
Okay. Sorry, Marty, I cut you off. You were gonna ask something, a follow-up question.
Well, I can't remember what it was then.
Oh, I'm sorry. I messed you up, Marty. I'm sorry.
No problem.
But you got your the answer. You got your question answered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I know with you guys usually like if there's a maintenance issue, uh we give you the number of our boots on the ground unless we've
Yeah,
gotten rid of them. So typically if there's like a maintenance issue where you need a boots on the ground, you guys will try to call them first
right,
before calling us.
Oh, yeah.
right. Absolutely.
Hey, can you find me a boots on the ground person? Is that the part of the deal?
We actually
Yeah,
we don't, but I actually just
good
met
question.
a guy that has a service that they coordinate the boots on the ground person.
Oh,
So
sweet.
yeah, if and they do it nationwide. So um
Yeah,
if you
send
want
it
to
out.
refer there, I'll send it over to you. I think
What's
the
the name of it? I'll put it in the chat.
I think it's bricks and mortar.
Is that the one that uses the VA, like the veterans? Is that the guy who uses veterans as boots on the ground? No. All right, never
Not
mind.
sure.
Somebody else. Somebody else.
Sure. I'll try to send over his contact info. I know his name is Joss Jazz.
It's Jazz.
Yeah, because my little brother's name is Jason, and they spell it the same. I call him Jace, and I spell it Jas, and he did too, but it's Jazz.
Okay.
So I'll send over his contact info I'll pull it up here.
That would be an awesome integration since you're bringing in these other services. If you could, if you and that other person somehow integrated, and man, you guys would be like the perfect one-stop shop.
Yeah, boots and mortar is actually what it was
Boots
called.
and mortar.
Not
Okay.
bricks and mortar.
That's good because we always the way that we go about finding boots on the ground folks is we join Facebook groups and we'll put a post in the Facebook group, and then also Indeed is how we is this it right here, Devin?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'll put this in the chat so you guys can have this.
Awesome. Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, that's
You
awesome.
have a sample sample post on Indeed, the kind of person you're looking for.
Yeah, I actually do. If you want, I can send it to you. Actually, let me see see if I can pull it up. All right, while I'm pulling this up, if you guys have any other questions for Devin and Ethan, feel free to ask as I'm pulling this up. Let's see, where's our
How does your guys' tenant insurance work? Because I am looking for a good tenant protection. Is it, I'm assuming a split? What does your split look like and that sort of thing?
I think we have a tenant protection guy who's specialized and licensed in it. I think the splits are typically 50-50. And I think that on our website, so if you go to zioncallmgmt.com, under the tenant protection page, it has a breakdown of the different coverage amounts along with the premiums.
Oh yeah.
And then it has like the different things. So there's a little bit of a variation in I don't think like the water damage entering from above, it doesn't cover floods. So if there was like a tsunami or torrential downpour and the river overflowed or something, I don't think it would cover against those types of things like typical insurance might. But all of
Okay.
those other things, we've had a lot of success in filing successful claims against fires. Like California was a big one with those fires the last several years. Smoke damage, burglary, vandalism. So yeah, it's really similar without going through a lot of like the hoops of insurance. And yeah, like a lot of owners, there's really like two ways about it. Some owners will start with tenant protection and they'll make it optional for new customers coming in. And then we've had other operators that they've enrolled in tenant protection and then they've required it of all their customers that don't provide proof of insurance through like their home insurance. And yeah, it can generate like I think is there a calculator on this page?
Yeah, right here. It shows you like if
Okay.
you had just like a sample number of units, it'll show how much additional revenue you can generate.
So yeah, it's pretty cool that way. We've seen some pretty cool success stories of people making enough with tenant protection to totally offset the cost of like the call center and some of their marketing services. So
Yeah, for sure.
I had a question for you guys because this is a big issue I run into with tenant protection is because I was using Safe Lease, and then we recently switched to Storable last year,
okay.
and neither one of them would insure the outdoor boat and RV storage.
I
So
was
it
just
looks
going to
like
say that.
yeah, it looks like you guys would provide insurance for outdoor open air RV parking.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do. So we added that as like an additional policy. So it's technically like a separate policy type. Because yeah, same reason. We found that there was a need for that. And a lot of times what's unfortunate is with, other third party policies is that customers will just sign up and assume that it does cover
Yeah.
parking spaces when in fact it doesn't. And so that's something that we felt like was a need to have, and so we have added that as an option as well. So yeah, when you sign up with us, we just plug in both option types within the management software, um, and manage it from that side. But yeah, like Devin said, typically it's like a 50-50 split
Does
usually.
this have to be do the spaces have to be inside of a gate or have a camera, or could this just be ungated facilities with this coverage?
Yeah, that's actually that's a really good question. I don't know, Devin, if you know that off the top of your head. I know there are some requirements for the self-storage
Yeah.
side, I believe. But do you know that, Devin? Do you know? If not, we can get that answer for
Okay.
sure.
I'd want to. I better not say anything definitive without talking to Victor, our TPP guy. I
Yeah.
know when I was doing approvals for these, like one of the things that they were looking for qualification was a gated facility, but I don't know if that's still the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds good. Just let us know if you can.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Marty, I have not forgot about you. This is the post that we use for and I can send you I can send you this as a Word document if you just wanted to edit this and then have your own branding on it. But what we do is we just post this onto all of the different job boards on Facebook. We post it on Indeed, and it does pretty well. Like we get on Indeed, we'll get like 20 applicants in a given week. Especially if you're in like a town that has a bunch of college kids that are looking for just extra side hustle work. Yeah, it works pretty good on Indeed and
It's
Facebook
awesome.
Marketplace is where we post this.
I know.
And I'm not sure how the Zoom works. Are we able to download that or?
I'll just send it to you. Give me your
Okay.
yeah, give me your, I know I have your email somewhere, but just give
I'll
it to
put
me
it.
right now and I'll send it to you. All right. Anybody else do you want this Marvin or Scott, do you guys want that template also?
No, I have people around.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. This is Marvin.
Okay. Got it. We'll do. I'll send it to you guys right now. And Marvin, you're Marvin at Marvin Rimich. Is it Rimick or Rimich?
Remick.com.
Rimick.com. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, go ahead and send it to me. You never know what happens. So yeah,
Okay.
go ahead and
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. It's good to have. So I will tell you guys just from our experience, like it's always good to have more boots on the ground than anything. So we'll have like one person that's our main boots on the ground, and then we'll have two or three people that's just on the sidelines on call, just in case we have to fire someone or someone gets sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at one of our facilities, I think we went through like 5 boots on the ground people our first year just because yeah, so we got, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Brandon, I had good luck with Indeed also, by the way.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah. And Indeed is good because unlike Facebook, with Indeed, they're they're actually posting and submitting their resume before you even contact them. So before you even contact them, you can see, okay, their background and history and qualifications. So Indeed is that's a really good one too.
Mm.
And it's reasonably priced where the other ones could be very pricey, some of the other.
On Indeed, I don't even pay for I don't even pay for the Indeed. I use just the free version of the employer one, and I get pretty good
Oh,
candidates.
okay.
Yeah. And usually on Indeed, you typically do find people that are a little bit more together, whereas on Facebook, you can find someone that's some felon or someone that's druggie or that just has a Facebook and sees your post, then may not be the,
Yeah.
you know.
Just speaking for myself, that might be a good topic for one of these. For example, my place I just sold, I had a manager and they acquired and managed the boots on the ground person, but this new one, like I'm self-managing, so I got to do that's a one learning component on this new deal for me is just finding and managing a boots on the ground and what tasks um, I need to have them do like weekly or bi-weekly and just that kind of stuff is
Okay.
something for me.
No, that'd actually be a good one that we can do within the next week or two. And if you guys also, as we do that, if you guys have any good recommendations on, well, hey, this is what I look for in the boots on the ground, or this is where I find people, I think it'll be good to have like
Yeah.
kind of like an
Yeah,
open discussion about it.
I think that would be good because even if you are like my previous facility where the my remote manager was handling that, I wasn't really satisfied with how they were handling that, and I would have fired the person, uh, but they were working for my manager, and I liked my manager, so I wasn't going to rock the boat. But like I didn't get very good communication on what the boots on the ground person was doing from one week to the next, and uh, I didn't really, I just wasn't really satisfied with how it was going at the previous place.
Okay. What we're using a third party management company or
Not a company. It was just it was just well, I mean they did start their own third party company. She was working for someone else who was doing remote management, and then she went out on her own,
okay.
doing her own thing. Um, so that's, I mean, it wasn't like a extra space or anything like that. It was just uh, you know, a third party independent person.
Right. Okay. No, I actually think that'd be good. Maybe we at our next week after we have our presentation, we can just have a little roundtable where we discuss things that everyone's doing to find a good boots on the ground person, because that's yeah, that's very important. And sometimes what we found is it's crazy, but one of our best boots on the ground, or I would say most reliable boots on the ground person, was some guy who was he was an ex everything, ex con, ex felon, ex drug. Like he was, like he was. It may have even been a current. I don't actually. I think he was a current. He did. So part of why we lost him is because he had to go to jail for a little bit and then got out and called us back. But I think because of his situation and the fact that he really wasn't qualified for a lot of other positions. I think that's part of what made him really uh, committed or loyal to us, because he really didn't have many other choices out there. Whereas you get certain people who, for example, like kids in college, they could be the worst because they have all these different options that they can go to for jobs, and yours is just you're kind of on the back burner. You're not priority to them because they got other things going on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, you got any other questions for Devin or Ethan about their services, which is a lot more than what I actually thought you guys did. I'm happy to.
Yeah, if you could send their contact information over, that way I could reach out to them and kind of go over some more stuff. That'd be great.
I actually will. I will send
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I'll send it out, and I'll also put it onto the portal in the investment club, just so that way you guys have it.
One
Yeah.
thing I'll add, Brandon, I want to be sensitive of everybody's time. We we have a new portion of the call answering service that's coming out. It's voice AI, and that we're hoping to roll that out this summer. And that could be a whole nother conversation in itself, but what we're planning on implementing with the voice AI is we still think that the human element's so important for a large portion of the interactions that we have. But we see a lot of value in this voice AI, and that it can help operators reduce phone calls kind of in a similar fashion to you mentioned the automated payment service and then the automated delinquent outreach. That it can help facilitate some of those things. So we're going to offer a couple different packages. Like people can go fully AI, they can go hybrid to where humans answer during the day, and then in the evenings and after hours, it would be AI answering. They can have it be or AI answering and then escalates to a human. So yeah, keep watching our website. We love to roll out with different services and offerings, and yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. We love to have conversations with people and see if we can help.
Absolutely.
Cool. That sounds good. Well, hey, appreciate you guys joining us. Again, everyone, I'll put the contact information onto the portal. I'll also send it out.